Iris, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. So good to see you. We're like recording this 2 days, 3 days, 4 days before Valentine's, and you are an expert in relationships as well, using um, among many tools, I would say, human design, and a program that you designed called Get Out of, like related to getting out of your comfort zone. So I'm really excited to be talking to you,
hmm
and happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day. That's funny because I don't really celebrate that.
You know, yeah, I think we have a movement against the mainstream rituals of Valentine's. Coach Constanze. She the other day we had something really funny, and she said it's commercialized by Hallmark, right? And it's like these cards and balloons, and yesterday, I mean, I was sitting in the lobby of a hotel, and it was like all red, and they had like artificial petals. And like I think we've gone wrong as humanity in the concept of love. So tell me about your philosophy of love.
Well, first of all, don't get me wrong because I'm not against commercial holidays. I like Halloween. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and even Christmas became very commercial. But when it comes to Valentine's Day, actually, it's not like I'm against it, and it's not like I encourage people not to celebrate it or to enjoy the day because look, whatever people want to do, it's kind of like it makes you happy. Okay, good, go for it. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm completely against. It's personally for me, it's like and a lot of people say that actually. Why would I like on 14th of February, why do I have to be more special? Why do I have to show more love? Why do I have to give more? It's just another day, right? So
Yeah.
of course, you're not gonna be with your partner every day, lovey-dovey all the way, right? Because there are days and days. But I think love is something that you show pretty much all the time. It's so that's why for me, 14th of February doesn't have let's put it like this, not it doesn't have a very special significance.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how I see
You,
it.
you know, Iris, it's really funny. You said something about it's not supposed, maybe it's not every day fluffy, fluffy. And we talk about tolerance, right? At the end of the day, when we are with other people, that means we have to tolerate things, and not tolerate in a negative sense. It's about tolerance. Yes, we have bad days, and when we have bad days, we need to tolerate each other's temper and anger, and I mean, all of these are natural emotions. But when we talk about cuddly, like I don't see why people should not be, even in their worst of times, cuddly, because that's a safe space where they go back to, right? Isn't that what love at the end of the day? When we are with each other, we are in the best and safest place. So isn't that what we aspire to? Rather than saying, yeah, we have good days and bad days, but even in the bad days, we're meant to, love one another.
Yeah, I agree. And then speaking still a bit about Valentine's Day, actually there are couples that they do something only on Valentine's Day and then maybe they forget about it. So again, I don't think that's the ultimate love holiday or the ultimate way of showing love, right? So of course, again, you want to celebrate it, go for it. You want to go out for a nice dinner, you want to do something nice for her, or the other way around. Um, go for it, but don't just like it's just another day. It's 14th of February. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you said something interesting. Well, we're going to talk about human design. The human design is called the science of differentiation. It's like we
Mhm.
all can party in our own ways. We each see the world in a different way, right? And we have a lot of similarities, but it's actually about utilizing our differences, right? It's like actually our differences are superpowers. So in relationships now, I don't want someone who's like me. On the contrary, I want somebody who's different than me that can complement me. So therefore, I am looking for their powers, and they are, looking into mine. And I had that actually in a relationship, and it was beautiful. The fact that that I understood the energetic body of my partner, and she understood mine. So if I'm a generator, she knew when I am being generator, and she doesn't have time for my energy or the energy for my energy, right? And therefore, I've learned better communication. So I tell my partner, if you feel that my energy is too much and you cannot handle it, please ask me, as long as you ask me politely, and you tell me, right, or set the boundary for me. Like, this is not, I don't have time for this now, nor like I'm not feeling well, I need my space. Can we talk about this later? Now, as long as my partner cares enough that we talk about it later, right, then we know how our energy functions. So human design for me was transformational in self-understanding, but it was also transformational for me in my relationships. And you know, when I meet somebody now, when I meet a lady, I say like, why don't you do your human design? So tell me about human design, because this is a very exciting topic for me, and it helped me a lot in my growth journey. And I would love to hear from you. What do you do? What you specialize in, and how you use human design in the process, because that's super exciting.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say something before I make a small introduction in human design. So human design, it helps you get to know yourself better and to understand more who you are and why you're here. But at the same time, it helps you understand how the others are around you, because we all come with different energies, right? So it's not just, okay, you understand yourself, but you're always connecting with other people on different levels. And it's not just the loved ones, it's people like from work, it's family members, it's friends, and so on. So it's essentially, and in a nutshell, because it's a lot to talk about, human design, it's a system where science meets spirituality. It's a very powerful self-awareness and self-development tool. It's not new, actually. It was created in 1987. And for me, it's very sophisticated because it's a combination of astrology, Kabbalah, I Ching, quantum physics, and the Hindu chakra system.
Mm-hmm.
And
so pretty much somebody with an open mind is doing a blend and cocktail of like different cultures and, you know, methodologies, and putting them into I think it's more like a mathematical equation of the human design, right? I mean, it's literally a chart.
it is in
And
a
each
way.
individual has their
Yeah,
chart.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not supported by science at this moment, but still, I mean, when I started to study it, of course, I had my questions. I even had some doubts, but I didn't want to give up because I found it very interesting. So I kept digging and digging and digging. And human design is a lot of layers. And the more I got into it, I got answers to my questions, things became more clear, and I started to understand it. And I realized, no, this is the next level tool, which unfortunately is not used enough. So one of my missions is to bring it more to them on the market. Right. So of course, human design, it works on a software. Basically, in order to generate this chart that you mentioned earlier, you need a couple of details, which is they're based on numbers mainly. So first of all, which is essential, is your birth time, birth date, and the city of birth. Now, of course, if you don't have the birth time, it's a problem. So the only way to get it, it's if you go to an astrologer or an astrologist.
Okay. Oh, so you can get it even if you don't have it on your birth certificate.
It is possible. Now, of course, with half of my clients, I don't work with human design. I don't use it for two reasons. The human design is not for everybody, first of all. Not everybody has to believe in it, and that's okay. And second of all, of course, if you don't know your birth time and it's difficult to figure it out, you cannot do it, right? Of course, some people are like, I was born around 5 a.m. I can do the chart based on 5 a.m. But if you're born in 5:20 or 5:45, you could get a completely different chart. So I can do the chart, but then I'm like, I'm not sure how accurate it's going to be. So of course we do it. And then that person could say, I don't find myself. This thing comes with like, there are two sides of the coin. I don't find myself, maybe because the time was not very accurate, or second, because at the first glance, even me, when I was reading it, yet some things I related to that, but not everything. So like I said before, I really had to dig in. But coming back to what I said, so part of my clients, I work with them based on human design. Others, no, not really.
Okay. You know, I wanted to ask you this question before, and I've shared it with you earlier, and I think it's like kind of worth talking about it. For me, and again, I like to talk about relationships, and because this is what you specialize in, so to bring these tools more to usage, right? Rather, how it's functional, how does it serve me as a person and as a couple, right? So when I understood my human design, which is a generator, and who are actually 66% of the planet, according to the numbers related to.
Actually, generators are, sorry to interrupt, generators are 37.
Sorry. Okay, well, they are big, but they're the biggest population, I think, right? Is that correct?
Look, so basically, let me clarify this. There are 5 energy types. You have the generator, 37%, and we have the manifesting generator, 33. We have the manifestors, which are 8%, reflectors, 21, and the rarest is projectors are 21, sorry. And the last one, which is the rarest, is 1%. And by the way, I think I was very lucky to meet a reflector. That I even did the chart, but it was a joke, I was like, let's do your chart. And when it turned out, I was like, oh my God, this is why you are the way that you are, in a good way, nothing bad, of course. But everything made sense. So I just wanted to say about these 5 types, because it's important for people to understand. And again, I'm a generator as well. We are the most part of the population. And by the way, some people are like, oh, I'm just a generator. Most of us are.
Yeah.
I'm not special, but it's very wrong, because there are a lot of success. Oprah is a generator. So there are a lot of successful, amazing people that have a lot to give to this world. They're generators.
Absolutely. That's what I actually wanted to talk about. Is you said something, when I said the number, which is like 68, 69, that's what I said. And then if I really account the generators plus manifesting generators, so it's like 33 and 36. So that's actually 69%. So when you talk about all this energy, and something, the founder of Human Design says we're the perfect slaves, simply because we have so much energy, right? That is obvious for people who are engaging with us. It's like this person can take it, so we could end up really being burnt out, giving, like at work, given more than we can handle, puts to 18, 19 hours of work simply because we can handle it, right? And what the founder also of Human Design says, we're the perfect slaves if we are spending our energy not behind our purpose. So once a generator finds his or her purpose, then that energy they direct can actually be like literally like a generator, like light up a whole town or a city, correct? So it's like an electric plant. So you're absolutely right. None of us is limited. And I also want to say, Iris, it's a tool. It's one tool for a form of self-awareness, right? So there are other tools. And you said, I was in a situation actually where I was giving like a workshop, and I was telling you about it offline, where I used Human Design as a tool, and to talk about the science of differentiation and acceptance of each other's differences as a force of co-creativity and co-creation between any two people or more. And I was faced actually back then was the first question, like, this is all based on numerology, like what is this? It's like, we can't have, this is not science, this is. And I said something, we are talking about, I used this activity to actually create this kind of discussion, right? Whether we believe in numerology or we don't believe in numerology, right? We are different, right? And when we know the differences through a tool like Human Design, then we can actually, like you said, create stronger and like more loving relationships and better understanding of what ticks and what clicks with our partner. So how are you feeling this is like kind of now happening with you? You said, you gave an example, you said you are experiencing this with somebody in your life, because it could be with friends, it could be with family, it could even be with our children, right? And I do that kind of awareness. I know my daughter's numerology, she's a 2, and she's a natural teacher, and I see that, I observe that in her, right? So Human Design, how is it contributing to your relationship wellness between you and other people?
Yeah, well, you said a couple of interesting things. So first of all, by the way, because we said that the generators, they have to find their purpose and to have to direct their energy towards that purpose. I wanted to say that all these 5 energy types, sorry, not 10, 5, it's the same for all of them, right? What makes us different more or less is that we have different types of energies, but the purpose is behind all, right? That's for all types. Now, you said about the generators that they have a lot of energy, and that's true, but this also comes with, again, there are 2 sides of the coin. So yes, we have sustainable energy, but we need to use it always in the right direction. And for example, we are called a Duracell, but compared to a manifesting generator, for example, which is also a Duracell, generators, once they're in motion, you cannot stop them. And if they keep going and going and going and they don't take breaks, they will overburn. And this is what usually happens. On the other hand, the manifesting generator has different speeds, which we don't. And it's true. And then you said another thing. You said that we are the slaves. So historically, yes, we are the people that used to work a lot. We are the workers and the slaves. And manifestors, for example, they are historically, they were the leaders, right?
Yeah.
Because the manifestors, they're the CEOs of today, the VPs, all these people that are, or people that run huge companies, and yeah. And also another way to put it is like, we are the working dogs generators, and manifesting generators are the alpha dogs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you think, I mean, I don't like to think about these terminologies so much, to be honest, because
it doesn't sound very pretty. I agree, it doesn't sound. That's why I also don't, but because you mentioned slaves, I went on this, slaves, of course, it's a way of saying it. It's not about that. It's just that we
No,
have.
I think it's very accurate, to be honest. I think it's very accurate because I say it in the context of self-understanding. When I was functioning as a slave, in the sense that when I did not understand my energetic body, when I always wanted to, be the best and like prove myself and stuff, I overburnt myself in the process. So I didn't understand how my energy functions, and therefore I ended up in burnout and mental illness, right? So now that I'm aware, so for me, human design was a self-regulation. Put relationships aside, put burnouts aside, self-regulation. You said something. So my energetic body now, I'll tell you how human design now helps me. A day is 24 hours. I need in summer and warm weather, I need 6 hours of sleep, 5 at night, 1 during the day. In winter, that increases by an hour to 2 hours, simply because it's cold and the body needs more warmth and rest, right? So now my body functions like that. So I make sure that I sleep my 6 hours on warm days and my 7 to 8 hours on cold days, right? In a manner that is, when my energy is burnt out, I go to sleep. So I have a nap time during the day, and that re-energizes me. So I've structured my day in such a way, consistently, I do that. Now, if one day I abuse, like I go party, I come back at 8 in the morning, one day only, right? And then I go back to my routine, right? So now with my partner also, it functions in the same manner. So now I tell my partner, I need to rest. That means I cannot talk right now. That means I cannot function. My brain is fried and I need my nap.
Because you need to get back your energy that you lose for whatever reason. And wait, what? Because I didn't answer your question. What was your question? It was about, so for example, when we interact
self-regulation, right? I mean, how can, like, for example, like we spoke about generators, but how, for example, what from your experience now with whatever friendship relationship that you're having, right? So when you understood the energetic body, so we're generators. So the person you're talking about, let's say, is a manifestor, right? So how do you understand the energetic body of the manifestor, and how can you help them be at their best energetic, or respect their energetic capabilities and potential?
Well, I remember the other question as well, because one question was, how did this, on a personal level, me as a generator, how did I understand myself better? This is one thing that I'll tell you in a second. And then, so it's a lot of matter of, yes, how we interact with each other, how we understand each other. I'm going to give you an example. My ex-boyfriend, he is a projector, and projectors, they don't have sustainable energy like us. They do, but they need to take more rest. They're like this, generators, they're usually high. And he always had to take a nap in the afternoon. And for me, I perceived him as lazy. And this is exactly what it says in human design, that projectors, for the people that don't understand them, they think they're lazy. And that's exactly what I thought about him. I was even complaining, how can you nap every single day in the afternoon? And then I told him, if you work like me for 3 days, you will die. And then I got into human design. And I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Because it's not like he was not working or putting in efforts, but he had a completely rhythm than mine. And for me, it was so difficult to understand. And I'm not the nagging type of girlfriend, but at the time I was kind of like, especially that we were running a business together and I was part of that. So I was like, oh my gosh, and these are your entrepreneurial skills. Like, wow, that's a disaster. So, so again, human design helps a lot to understand that not everybody is like you. right? Especially when
Yeah,
you're high energy and the other person is lower, it doesn't
absolutely.
make the other person less. So it's always about putting in an effort to understand, especially that there are people that we're having relationships with, and it's not just partners, can be family members, friends, or even at work. Because imagine you're in a team with people and you have different energies. Then it's going to be a problem at the end of the day. So it's a lot about understanding and pausing a little bit and spending the time to see, okay, what is it about me and what is it about the other person and how can we meet halfway? Of course, a lot of people don't do that, right? And then let me tell you how it had an impact on me since I started to study this. So there are two major things. First of all, every energy type comes with the, let's call it a tagline, right? And for the generator is listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. So then I realized that my intuition was always hidden in my subconscious all my life. And yeah, I was following it. I knew about it. It was basically you use your intuition mainly when you have to take decisions, right? What do I do? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I say yes or no? And so on. So I was aware of it kind of and using it here and there, but I was not really relying on it or thinking about it consciously. Now with human design, it was an amazing shift from subconscious to the conscious mind. And for more than a year now, when I have to take decisions, and decisions from small things to bigger things, many times I'm like, wait. And I'm, and this is another thing. Generators, they have to wait to respond because due to their nature, when they are, and I maybe you relate with that as well, you're getting into something and our first intention is to like, boom, go for it, answer. I also stop that. At least in 80% of the cases, and I'm okay, I can wait. And then you know what? I answer in an hour, 2, 3, 5, depending on the situation. And then I realize I've come up with pretty much the best answer. And of course, the outcome of that thing, it's much better. So it influenced me a lot in terms of what's my strategy in taking decisions. I wait more, I have more patience. I know better how to work with my energy and to understand other people's energy and how I can make, like I said, I need to meet them halfway to understand them and to work with them, no matter what the relationship is. And I really rely more on my intuition. Is it a yes or is it a no? So, of course, there are many other things, but essentially these are very important things because we are running our lives based on this. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You're gonna laugh about this, okay? But a couple of other things I'm gonna add to your list, right? We're gonna make this into a list. What did we learn about in human design? And I'm going to add, I learned to tell my partners that if you want to enjoy me the most sexually, it's not at night, it's in the morning when I first wake up, because this is the highest energy of a generator, right? So at night I'm exhausted. Like, people conventionally think of nighttime and sex. I mean, if you want to think generators, think morning and think daytime. It's more colorful too, And anyway, so this is one thing that I've actually learned, that my energy is highest physically, sexually, energetically, mentally when I wake up, and even when I wake up afternoon and then after my nap, because I'm re-energized. But the nighttime is like not my thing. And then, well, it's not my thing if I didn't get really proper rest before, but I can shuffle these 6 hours and say, okay, I'm going to have a night with my partner tonight, and we're going to stay up until 4 in the morning. So what I do an extended nap, or I delay my nap. So I sleep like from 5 to 6, 7 p.m., right? After I'm like really exhausted, and like I can get 2 hours, and then I wake up and I'm fresh for my partner, right? So it's like you can adjust your energy as long as you listen to your body. So I learned to listen to my body. And this is what you talked about, responsiveness. For me, it was amazing learning to respond, because me, Roger, I can get into a fight every single day. Trust me, I'm the most like, I'm a warrior, and like I know that this is one of my archetypes. So I know that I express it, and but I could fall in trouble if I react. So I learn how to respond, and like you. So like I take a gap between the action and the reaction, and I listen to my body, and it's sacred. We're sacral beings, right? We always say generators are sacral beings, and this is where all the energy is. And the sacral is also the sexual energy. So
true,
and it's also the creative energy.
And generators have this center open, defined, which is more consistent. And you're right, it's about nurturing, sexuality, working. Yeah, true.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's shift to This is really
But
interesting
I
too,
wanted to
because
tell you something before
yeah,
we should, 1 second, because we're talking about relationships in the context of human design, but
yeah,
overall, a relationship means a little bit of compromise, because when you're with someone, there are a lot of things that bring you together. You have many things in common, but you cannot have it all, right? So, for
yeah,
example, I like to go to the movies. He doesn't, but once in a while, he's going to humor me because it doesn't matter. It's just one movie.
absolutely.
Or there is something else that he wants to do and I'm completely not into it. But once he's like, just come with me for, I really would like you to be there once a year. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it,
Absolutely.
right? So it's a lot about
Absolutely.
adjustment, compromise, understanding. And of course, human design helps a lot and supports that in terms of understanding more your partner's needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anyway.
Cool. Iris, let's move. You also have another program which I also love from a topical perspective, and I have a philosophical, so topical, philosophical, and it's a bit of a, rhymes with tropical right now, right? Because it's getting out of the comfort zone. The comfort
I
zone
have
might
to
be
charge
your
my laptop.
home.
Go on. Yes. No, go
Yeah,
on, go on.
yeah. So the comfort zone, and I will say it to you from what I believe in as a human being, right? And it is my personal beliefs, but I'll tell you, I'll say this to you in the context of a talk by Jordan Peterson.
Oh,
Okay, and
yeah,
it's
one of my
where
favorites.
he actually, oh, amazing. So Jordan Peterson actually references in the story Abraham, and we are called, well, Islam, Christianity, and Islam are, all linked to Abrahamic. They're called Abrahamic, so from Abraham, right? So what do we get? We got the, the 10 sins from Abraham. And anyway, in the Abrahamic story, Jordan Peterson talks about when God came to Abraham at a young age. So Abraham was young. He was maybe 16 or 17 or 18, right? So teenager, right? End of teenage. So he's growing up, right? He's becoming a man. So God comes to him and he tells him, leave your father's home and the comfort of your mother's kindred and go to a land far away that you don't know, and I will show you the way. And what Jordan Peterson means in this is that you now can stand up on your own, make your own decisions. But in order for you to make those decisions, you cannot be sitting in the comfort and relying on the comfort of your own home and your father's and your mother's care, right? So it's now for you time to man up in a sense. So he told like kind of literally Abraham and in common terminology, like get up, get out of your home and explore your opportunities. And because once you are exploring those opportunities, whatever, and why why God tells him, and you go to a place that you don't know, and I will show you the way. What does this mean? God will throw things at you, good things, bad things, and
Mm-hmm.
you learn how to deal with the bad things and to, deal with the good things,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you do that by getting out of the comfort zone. You can only have that experience once you go out of your comfort zone, and this is where you experience your biggest growth. And imagine this is 5,000 years of wisdom. And now we're talking about it with you, which is get out of your comfort zone. So please tell me, how can we get more people to do that?
Okay, first of all, the comfort zone, it's not the worst thing actually, because we cannot always be out there and put ourselves like, always put too much pressure on our shoulders. And so the comfort zone has to be here and there, right? And by the way, we're built to be safe. This is how our brain is wired. We're built to eliminate any way that we could put ourselves in danger. However, of course, sitting too much there, it doesn't make us any good, right? So there are different ways that people realize at some point, because a lot of people wake up, right? And they're like, okay, I'm in this situation, I cannot take it anymore, I have to do something. Also, there's another thing. There are a lot of people struggling. They broke their comfort zone, they are there, and it's very tough, and they're like, oh my God, I want to go back. Yeah, so there are these two situations. But anyway, look, we cannot of course, we can encourage people to get out of their comfort zones and preach that why is it good, why is it rewarding. I like to say no risks, no rewards, right?
Absolutely.
But again, it's up to those. So for example, if someone comes to me is like, what should I do? What can I do? Well, first of all, let's make an audit about your life in general, a specific area of your life, whatever you want to do. Personally, I broke my comfort zone 7 times in the last 25 years. It was painful. It was challenging. It was not easy at all. I've been through so much that I cannot explain you. And I come from a very safe environment from my home in Romania. But I will tell you that if I haven't done what I did, I would not be who I am today. Because getting out of the comfort zone, it means to face the fears. It means to kill the fears. Otherwise, you know how it is with the fears anyway. If you don't control them, they will control you. So getting out of your comfort zone, it means to get to know yourself better. You become stronger, you evolve, you grow, you become resilient, right? So again, let's put it like this. Why I would, well, actually, I just said why I would encourage people to get out of their comfort zone. I just mentioned, so yeah, I don't want to repeat myself. But again, it depends from a person to another. I'll tell you why. Because, for example, if I have a friend coming to me now and I'm stuck, okay, I will give you the best advice, but it's entirely up to you when you're going to take that decision. In my case, I cut it. This is another thing. The more you think, time is flying. Yes, everything okay?
Yeah, continue. It's okay. We're
So the
capturing
more
you
you
here
think
now.
about it, I mean, of course, we all have, again, we have different energies, we have different rhythms. We need time. Personally, for me, I was like, also when I wanted to move to Dubai, of course, the idea came 2.5 years before. I was living in Germany. And then when I was really decided, it took me a few more months because I was looking for a job. It didn't work out. And then I said, you know what? One day I woke up and I said, I'm going to buy that one-way ticket now, because if I don't, time will fly. And what am I going to do? I'm not happy here. So that's exactly what I did. And by the time I moved to Dubai, I got a job, I got a house, and here I am. And it's 8 years, and it was not easy. It was very difficult.
Iris,
Yes.
I stopped the video, but that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine because I'm cutting off, so I don't want to affect
Okay.
the recording.
Okay.
Okay.
No
So I'll
problem.
turn myself off. And anyway, now we see you alone. So in the editing, it will be only in you in the frame. Even. I mean, I
Yeah.
only have one more question for you. How much
Tell me.
time do we have? Is it saying
We
we
still have a
finished,
bit.
or
Tell
we
me.
still have?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So comfort zone and attachment, right? So there's a big link, in my opinion, between being attached to, whatever it is.
You
Sometimes
know
we
why?
think, oh,
Because
like,
we're attached to everything that is familiar. What is unfamiliar, it's an unknown territory, which for us, it's danger. What am I going to do? Or limiting beliefs. I cannot do that. I'm not good enough. How am I going to do that? That was exactly in my head. When I wanted to move to Dubai, first thought, I was, like I said, in Germany. It was 2.5 years before moving. First thought was like, what am I going to do in Dubai? Nobody's going to hire me. What job am I going to find? How am I going to make my money? And I'm an educated individual. I have a bachelor's degree. I mean, I was working in Germany, but to understand what was going through my mind, and most people are dealing with the same.
absolutely. And how does this program work? Can you tell me a bit more about, like, what is the structure? Like, is it like, how much time do you think you work with a person with the comfort zone program? So what does it consist of from a, more detailed perspective? If somebody wants to have the program with you,
Yeah.
how is that program like?
Look, typically it's 4 sessions because, like we said, I created the program, and typically it's 4 sessions, but not necessarily. It can be one session, it can be two, it can be 10, because someone can come for 4 sessions and they're like, okay, it's not enough. Now, like I was saying earlier, we do an audit. We have to figure out, because some people are like, there's something I don't know. Other people would say, okay, I'm in this toxic relationship, it's not working, I need to get out, I need to be free, but I don't know what to do. So we know exactly what we're working on. Other people could be like, I need a change, I don't know what, but I need to make a change. So we have to figure that out together. And then next, we create a plan, an action plan that my client has to take, to take it forward step by step. And there's another thing that people need to understand, is very important. A coach or a therapist will guide you and will help you and will give you the right tools. But if you, as a client, if you don't work actively on it, it's not going to help much, right? Because a coach or a therapist won't be able to hold your hand all the time. Yeah, I just wanted to underline this. Now I'm back. So we make a plan, we start working on it, and then there needs to be taken some action, whatever it is. Like you buy a ticket, you break up with somebody, you quit a job, I don't know, you start a business, whatever it is. And of course, there are different exercises. It's too much to talk about it here. Again, human design, we can work on human design as well, because human design could bring you that thing on the table that, okay, now I understand myself better. This is what I want to do. This is what I should do. And this is good for me. And it will help me live more authentically, right?
Yeah. So in your program, they can, I mean, if somebody wants to utilize and you find that it's the right tool for them. So in those 4 sessions, you would actually work with them on getting out of their comfort zone and even understanding their human design, correct?
Yeah, but like I said, human design, it's not a must.
Exactly.
I can also identify, okay, let's do a human design chart, especially if you know your birth time and it makes sense, but not necessarily. There are a lot of other exercises that we can do.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, look, you know, I just wanted to close, you know, since we both said, you know, we spoke about that we like Jordan Peterson
Mm-hmm.
and the comfort zone and getting out of, and I referred to an Abrahamic story, which was actually, you know, talked about by Jordan Peterson in the University of Toronto during a lecture to his students. So this was literally like classrooms material.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, we spoke about the importance of in both human design and in getting out of the comfort zone is knowing kind of, you know, what our purpose. If we're guided by purpose, then that purpose, you know, when we go out of our comfort zone and we pursue it with action, then it's bound to, you know, manifest. And it always comes with one magical word, and it's called responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, Jordan Peterson talks a lot about responsibility. Is that,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you said about talking and like holding people by the hand, and then you're putting for them an amazing program, and then you said it's like you got to do the homework, right? And this is where the responsibility
Yeah.
of the individual lies in saying, I want change in my life, but I have the faith that I can achieve it, and I will take action in order for me to manifest it.
Exactly. Also, when I did my therapy, which was many years ago, I got a lot of exercises to do from my therapist, and if I would have not done that, it would have been wasted money and wasted time, right? So it's very important to work on ourselves. Of course, we are here to guide and to empower and support, but ultimately, it's that person's, you know, involvement, right? Because at the end, it's their lives. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I wanted to say something, long story, very short, about, because you were mentioning Jordan B. Peterson is one of the people that I follow and I, let's say I trust and I resonate with. He has a website called Self-Authoring. Do you know about it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So last year in
With a
April,
psychometric, and actually there's a psychometric test for couples, which is amazing.
I
Like he
don't know
does it,
about
him and
that.
his wife.
Maybe, but he has 3 tests there. It's past, present, and future. And someone told me about it last year. I didn't know about it. It was last year in April. And it was kind of like a mentor for me. And he said to do the future one. So basically you pay around $18 or less, which is an investment in you. You do the test online, you're just answering questions and you keep writing and writing and writing. That's it. And then I did it. I finished it in 2 days. At some point I got even a little bored, but I was like, no, that's I usually I don't like to quit. So I was like, I finished it. And you know what happened? At the time I was like, I still had, at the time I had a day job while working on my coaching practice. And then I was like, yeah, I'm still gonna have the job for a year and a half from now because it's safe. You know what? After I finished the test, I said, that's it. I'm done with the corporate world. I'm getting out of it. And by the way, this is a breakthrough. This is getting out of another comfort zone, because a job is a paycheck at the end of the month. So it's safe, right? But anyway, so I set a deadline, which was 22nd of December last year, 22. You know what? 9 days before, I got laid off, but in a very good way. It doesn't matter. It was fine.
Congratulations, I always say.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was getting closer to the date. I was planning to push the deadline, right? But this happened. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's actually happening. And yeah, so my point is that self-authoring test was amazing. It's just a few bucks. It's really worth it. And it's not just about quitting a job. It can be any area of your life that you need improvement, or you need to take a major decision to, to change something, because change is change. This is what the comfort zone means. You cannot have something new and fresh and good in your life without any change, just sitting home on the couch, right? Change is change. It's not fun sometimes. Sometimes it's painful. It's not easy, but it's rewarding. Yeah.
You know something, it's really interesting because I think you went back to Jordan Peterson's story of Abraham, and you said, you know, go out into the unknown. You actually referred the program of Jordan Peterson instead of referring to your own, which is also trusting that the universe, that when we refer people to the right tools and the right things for their lives, no matter where they come from, and of course, as long as we trust the source, then we are also guiding them to, you know, things that are, you know, even, you know, not, maybe not everyone can afford 4 sessions with you, but maybe they can afford $18 for them to
Yeah,
improve their lives. And
absolutely.
what about your program? Because I want to ask you, 4 sessions with you are
450.
450 currency?
I'm sorry, no, wait, 400, and wait, you mean the comfort zone or human design?
Yeah, each.
Okay, you have to cut this part because I forgot what I put there.
Absolutely. You know
I
what?
don't,
We don't need to talk about it.
we
We
don't
don't
have
need
to
to talk
mention
about
because
it.
they can see it anyway.
Absolutely,
But there was
absolutely.
another thing that I wanted to say, and this is important, that there is another thing that I support people with, how to create a ritual of setting intentions. Of course, at the end, everybody comes up with whatever works best for them and what's more comfortable. But setting intentions and setting goals, it's very powerful. And it doesn't have to be the beginning or the end of the year. It doesn't have to be on a full moon or a new moon. It doesn't matter. The idea is to set your intentions, to work on them, and to let it go, and then you'll manifest. And this is another thing that I like to incorporate in my programs. Of course, not every client is different, right? And every need is different. But sometimes I do that as well. And this is another powerful way of making your way through, not to mention a vision board. And again, vision boards are super powerful as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Iris. That's amazing. So we cut, if you want to stop the recording.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I'll get with you on video just to say hi. Bye.
Bye, everyone. It was great. Yeah, I hope it was insightful.
See, I can't hear you when you. I'll get off video. So
yeah,
I was because of the internet connectivity. So when I put video, you cut off. So
I just
wanted
to say, yeah, thank you, Roger, for this. It was great, and I'm very happy when I have the chance to share what I do. But I actually didn't even introduce myself. So basically, and you can put this, you can cut it or whatever. So I'm Iris. I have wait, sorry, one more time. Let me think how I'm going to phrase that. So I'm Iris. I'm a dating and relationship coach, but I also work with a lot of people that want to break their comfort zone. I also use human design as a self-development tool. I have a show called Best Talking Town. It's live on TikTok every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Dubai time. And we talk, like I said, dating and relationships, but of course, many other subjects and topics. And I'm happy that I had this chance to share a bit of my work, of what I do. And yeah, that's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop now.
That's really cool. You know what? Yeah, we can stop it. Now we also